Aoi Todo is a third-year student and a grade 1 powerhouse who defies the meathead trope. While he looks like a massive tank, Todo possesses a self-proclaimed IQ of 50,000 and a tactical mind that processes battlefield variables in nanoseconds. His personality is dominated by his obsession with the idol Nobuko Takada and his eccentric litmus test for others, asking what their type of woman is. If your answer is boring, he'll beat you half to death. If it matches his soul, he instantly hallucinates a shared middle school history with you, declaring you his brother, as he did with Yuji Itadori. Todo's strength stems from Boogie Woogie, one of the most disorienting curse techniques in the series. By clapping his hands, Todo instantly swaps the positions of any two objects with a minimum level of cursed energy. This isn't just about teleportation, it's psychological warfare. He can clap and not swap to bait a flinch or swap an enemy into their own attack. Even after losing a hand in Shibuya, Todo proved his genius by revealing that the act of applause is an acclamation of the soul, briefly triggering his technique by clapping against an opponent's hand. Momo Nishimiya is a third-year student at Kyoto Jujutsu High who brings a literal top-down perspective to the battlefield. Often underestimated due to her small stature and cute aesthetic, Momo is a grade 2 sorcerer who serves as the Kyoto team's primary scout and aerial support. Her character is defined by a fierce, almost defensive loyalty to her female peers, particularly Mai Zenin. Momo views the world of Jujutsu through a lens of harsh social reality. She believes that female sorcerers aren't just judged on their strength, but on their appearance and marketability, arguing that they have to be perfect, both powerful and pretty, just to be respected in a male-dominated society. Momo's combat style revolves entirely around her innate technique, tool manipulation. This ability allows her to telepathically control her broom, granting her the gift of flight. While it looks like a simple witch trope, it's a highly versatile utility skill. Noritoshi Kamo is the designated heir to the Kamo clan, one of the prestigious three great Jujutsu families. Unlike the chaotic brilliance of Aoi Todo, or the whimsical air of Momo Nishimiya, Noritoshi is defined by the stifling weight of tradition. He isn't just a student, he's a vessel for his family's reputation. Throughout his time at Kyoto Jujutsu High, Noritoshi carries himself with a rigid, disciplined stoicism, constantly pressured to prove he is the worthy successor to his bloodline, even though he is technically an illegitimate child who rose to prominence through sheer merit and mastery. Noritoshi's innate technique is blood manipulation, a skill passed down through the Kamo line that allows him to control his own blood and any blood he touches with his cursed energy. While it sounds basic, it's arguably one of the most versatile techniques in the series, because his blood can change its properties, becoming toxic, viscous, or hyperpressurized. He can adapt to almost any combat scenario. Kasumi Miwa is a second-year student at Kyoto Jujutsu High and, by her own admission, the most normal person in a world of monsters. Unlike her peers who come from elite sorcerer lineages or possess massive cursed energy reserves, Miwa entered the Jujutsu world for a refreshingly grounded reason: to make money. Growing up poor with two younger brothers, she was scouted by a sorcerer while working a part-time job and took up the sword to provide for her family. This everyman perspective makes her the most relatable character in the series, a blue-collar sorcerer just trying to survive the day-to-day chaos of the Kyoto-Tokyo rivalry. Miwa is a rare case of a sorcerer without an innate technique. She can't manipulate blood or swap places with a clap. Instead, she relies on New Shadow Style, a technical school of swordsmanship designed to level the playing field against powerful curse users. Her bread and butter is the simple domain, a domain for the weak that creates a small circular barrier around her. Kokichi Muda is a second-year student at Kyoto Jujutsu High, but for most of the series his classmates only knew him as Ultimate Mechamaru, a cold, mechanical puppet. Kokichi's existence is defined by one of the most brutal heavenly restrictions in the world of sorcery. In exchange for vast, country-spanning levels of cursed energy and the ability to control puppets across immense distances, his physical body was born broken. He lacked a right arm and both legs below the knees. His skin was so sensitive that even natural light felt like a burn, and every pore of his body felt like it was being constantly stabbed by needles. He lived his life submerged in a dark, sterile bathtub, connected to the world only through the machines he piloted. Because Kokichi can't fight in person, he uses puppet manipulation to pilot Ultimate Mechamaru, a mechanical brawler outfitted with an array of cursed technology. Kokichi's story takes a dark turn when it's revealed he acted as a mole for the cursed spirits Mahito and Kenjaku. His motive wasn't malice, but a desperate human desire to have a normal body and finally meet his friends, specifically Kasumi Miwa, in person. After Mahito used idol transfiguration to heal Kokichi's body as part of their binding vow, Kokichi immediately turned on them using his trump card, Giant Ultimate Mechamaru, Mode, Absolute. In this form, Kokichi piloted a skyscraper-sized mecha fueled by years of stored cursed energy. He utilized Vision Violator to fire experimental charges and even developed simple domain cartridges to bypass Mahito's invulnerability. For a brief moment, a student sorcerer stood toe-to-toe with a special-grade disaster curse, proving that his tactical genius was just as dangerous as his raw energy reserves. Mai Zenin is a second-year student at Kyoto Jujutsu High, and the younger twin sister of Tokyo's Maki Zenin. In the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, twins are considered a singular entity in the eyes of cursed energy, a bad omen that splits the potential of a single sorcerer into two weakened halves. While Maki was born with a heavenly restriction that took her cursed energy in exchange for physical dominance, Mai was born with a technique she never wanted in a family that viewed her as a failure. She is defined by her sharp tongue, her bitter resentment toward her sister, and a deep-seated desire to simply live a normal life that the Zenin clan's cruelty made impossible. Mai's innate technique is construction, one of the most taxing abilities in the entire series. Unlike most sorcerers who use their energy to create effects, like fire or shikigami, Mai uses hers to create actual matter from nothing. The tragedy of Mai Zenin is tied to the clumping of cursed energy between twins. Because she and Maki are spiritually linked, Maki's physical strength was capped by Mai's remaining cursed energy, and Mai's technique was stunted by Maki's lack of it. Mai understood this better than anyone. As long as she lived, Maki could never become the perfect warrior. During the perfect preparation arc, after being mortally wounded by their father, Ogi Zenin, Mai made the ultimate choice. She used the last of her life force to perform a final act of construction. In exchange for her life, she created the Split Soul Katana, a powerful cursed tool capable of cutting through any material by striking the soul itself. As she died, she took all the remaining cursed energy of the Zenin twins with her, finally freeing Maki from her shackles and allowing her sister to achieve the full power of a heavenly restriction. Arata Nita, the first-year student and younger brother of Tokyo's Akari Nita. Unlike his classmates who are frontline combatants, Arata is a specialized combat medic whose presence on the battlefield is the literal difference between life and death. He is a grounded, somewhat nervous character who provides a stark contrast to the high-ego elites of the Zenin and Kamo clans, yet his contribution during the series' darkest hour, the Shibuya Incident, makes him one of the most vital supporting players in the story. Arata's technique is unique because it doesn't heal in the traditional sense, while Reverse Cursed Technique, RCT, can actually regrow limbs and seal gashes. Arata's innate technique focuses on pain and wound management. Yuka Okkotsu is a first year at Kyoto High. She's a character who has lived in the massive, looming shadow of her lineage since the day she was born. As the granddaughter of the legendary Yuta Okkotsu and Maki Zenin, she carries a genetic jackpot of cursed energy and physical potential. But despite being the focal point of the story's early chapters, Yuka has mostly operated in the background, a strategic trickle of information that has fans wondering what Akutami is hiding. The most shocking revelation? Yuka isn't just fighting curses, she's fighting brain cancer. For a sorcerer of her caliber to be taken down by a mundane biological tragedy is one of the most submersive twists in the series, and it completely recontextualizes her reckless desire to be acknowledged. The central mystery of Yuka's development revolves around Rika's ring. While the Gojo clan has been accused of falling back into traditional patriarchy by favoring her brother Sugi, the true reason the ring was withheld might be far more dangerous. Given Yuka's intense grief over her grandfather's death, there's a prevailing theory that the clan feared a repeat of history, that Yuka's massive cursed energy would accidentally curse the soul within the ring, corrupting Rika into an uncontrollable evil. Sugi, having little to no cursed energy, was the safe choice to hold the relic. But now, with the world facing a calamity-level threat in Dabura, the time for safety is over. Yuka doesn't just want that ring for power, she wants it to finally stand on the same level as the man she idolized. If Yuka Okkotsu is the soul of the Majulo era, Tsurugi Okkotsu is its disciplined, conflicted muscle. As the older brother to Yuka and the grandson of Yuta Okkotsu and Maki Zenin, Tsurugi is a walking contradiction. He carries the legendary Okkotsu ring, a cursed tool that once allowed his grandfather to manifest the Queen of Curses, Rika. But unlike every other sorcerer in the Gojo clan who covets that power, Tsurugi views the ring as a mark of shame. In a world 70 years after the original series, where the arrival of the alien Simorans has changed the stakes of Jujutsu forever, Tsurugi stands as a rare throwback to the era of physical dominance. Tsurugi's combat profile is a mirror image of his grandmother, Maki Zenin. He was born with little to no cursed energy, a trait that should have made him an outcast in the elite Gojo clan. However, it's exactly this weakness that makes him lethal. The central conflict between Tsurugi and Yuka is the Okkotsu ring. To Yuka, the ring is a symbol of strength and their grandfather's love. To Tsurugi, it's a safety net he never asked for. He remembers Maki telling him that he was strong enough to survive without protection, which is why he was devastated when the Gojo clan forced the ring onto him after Yuta's death. In his eyes, the clan was telling him he wasn't strong enough on his own. This creates his unique motivation. Tsurugi is training to become so powerful that he can give the ring back. He doesn't want to use Rika. He wants to prove he doesn't need her. This puts him at constant odds with Yuka, who sees his refusal to use the ring's full potential as an insult to their grandfather's legacy.